How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting and welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday, where we're here, Total Eclipse, and I think we're rapidly approaching the penultimate climax. Because Yuuya and Cryska, after Yuuya rescues Cryska, has had now to face pretty much all the hurdles. Well, I guess technically not directly all of them. The Infinities were tracking him very closely and would likely have engaged him eventually. I assume in the ultimate betrayal that Weller was planning. But they got driven away by the Scarlet Twin. Well, twins, but the Scarlet Twin. It's complicated. Then, the Soviets intercepted Argus when Argus was just about to catch up to Yuuya. So that kind of took them out of the game. And then Yuuya had to face Enya with the brained Scarlet Twin. Managed to survive with the help of Cryska and intervening. And now there's only one TSF that's moving at us fast, and it's the only one that's left that has any chance of not only tracking him, but also, I think, poses the biggest threat, and that's Yuuya. Because she doesn't have to just wage war physically, she's waging psychological war. And it's going to be rough. But yeah, so that's what I expect. I think this episode's going to be mainly this confrontation. There's probably going to be more. I don't know if we'll cover it in this episode or if we save that for having a breathing space and then, you know, maybe seeing where the finale takes us, but I have no idea what to expect. At this point, I have no idea what Yuuya's endgame is really going to be because he's got Cryska and Enya. Cryska's dying. Enya might die if he doesn't find a way to save her. I've theorized that one of the best places to go would be Yuko-sensei, but I don't know if that's even feasible. Like, I don't even know if he has the connections to do that. Yuuya might, but she might be trying to bring him in. So, yeah. I don't know. If Yuuya wins, maybe she can try and find a way to smuggle him and the Cryska and Enya out. But I'm not sure she can win. She's great. She's super talented, but her Takuma Kazuchi's in repair. And I'm guessing that she's coming in a trading mech, but she's still gonna nearly destroy him, if not destroy him. We'll have to see. Anyway, let's see if I'm right. I could be completely off base for some random reason. I don't know. But I feel like she's the one that has yet to make her appearance, and she's the one that we've been building up to. So, I think it's time for us to go, so let's jump right in. What? The TSF was in autonomous alert mode, so why the hell hasn't the fire control engaged yet? Here they come. Warming up. If this were the Barkut, I would have received an IFF reading already, but I didn't. It's gotta be a stealth machine. Can't be a raptor either, they usually hunt in packs. Which leaves only one possibility. Wait, it's also a stealth machine? Wait, what else could it be? What? I guess I'm confused. It's another Shirinu Second Phase 3, Unit 2. Oh. They got her up to it, did they? Oh no! It's Shirinu. Oh no! Oh crap, he's in trouble. Oh no, they're matched machines. And it's Yuuya. I think he's screwed. This should be far enough. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Let's settle this here and now. Here you are. Yeah, I saw this coming. So did I. I'm being chased by the TSF I brought to perfection with my own two hands, and to make things worse, it's her on board. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I think she'd be scarier in her Takuma Kazuchi, but the Takuma Kazuchi does not have the stealth capabilities. Ooh, could you imagine the new Royal Guard rolling out with the stealth tech on their Takuma Kazuchis? That could genuinely be terrifying. Holy crap. Yui's dead serious. I need to come to her. I need to come at her no holds barred, or I won't make it out alive. God, this sucks!
繰り返す。速やかに投降し、白に新潟を返還せよ。
I'm sorry, I can't. Yuuya, please, hear me out. Do you copy? It's me, you.
Yuuya ブリッジスは
She's like, pretenses tossed aside.
我が正体のユーヤブリッジ少尉は現在行方不明だ。テロリストに殺害、あるいは拉致された可能性が高い。
Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, of course, she's playing 3D chess here. She knows the conversation between them would be recorded. And so, she's essentially throwing him a bone. Saying, look, you can play this out. We can find a way to make this look like you were hijacked and coerced. And then we might be able to get you out of this. That's really clever. It would absolutely, everyone would suspect the truth. But if they couldn't prove it, they could possibly get away with this. Come on, Yuuya, think about it. Think about it. So that's her answer, huh? She's trying to cover for me, giving me a way out. Shoot, she's telling me I won't suffer any disciplinary consequences if I go back with her. Yuuya does everything by the book, and yet she's willing to throw aside everything she believes in it for me.
これが最後だ。10秒の猶予を与える。武装を解除し、投降せよ。
She's got to play this. She's giving him an out, but she's also got to play it legitimately, because if she drops the pretenses at any point now, it'll invalidate it. So she has to keep up the charade. No, she's not doing this just for my sake. This is an attempt to douse the sparks of what could become an international firestorm and keep the XFJ program safe in the process. But even if I understand what's on the line for her, I just can't. I still think, man, if we just talked to her, I guess she was in isolation for the interviews and all that. Man, though, if we could have just reached out to her before we went on Weller's massive crazy mission, maybe we could have worked out a better option.
時間切れだ。投降の意思なしと認め。
That's right. The thought didn't even cross my mind. A long blade? Thought you meant to kill me. The assault guns would have been a better tool for the job.
私たちの試合にはこの獲物こそふさわしいと思わんか。
So now she's being more open because her ploy doesn't matter. If he's not intending to take her up on the offer, then she's like, fine. I guess it is really you. I agree. I'd been eagerly awaiting our rematch for months. Be careful what you wish for. Oh my gosh.
日本帝国近衛軍高村結衣。参る。
やれやれ。
Yeah.
随分と散らかしてくれたものだね。
Freaking amen, brother. Good grief. Wonder if he's got some extra ace up his sleeve. Maybe a way to alter or manipulate the phase 3 further.
タイミングを見計らったようだね。部屋に着いたばかりだよ。わかる？これ皮肉だよ。無駄な時間を使わされたよ。もっと早く圧力かけてくれないと困るよ。
Wait, pressure on who? What?
ああ、わかってる。問題なく手はずは整えてるよ。そっちこそ準備はできているんだろうね。私にはカムチャツカとのパイプはないからね。
Okay, wait a minute. Did they somehow figure out what Yuuya's doing? That his next step would be to run to Russia, mainland Russia, for Cryska's sake, rather than going to America like Weller wanted? And if so, do they have a retrieval plan? And if so, who would that be with? Who was he most interested in investing and coordinating with? Because we don't know. It feels like he plays all the sides. But this is, again, it might be this. What if the Japanese do have essentially a Black Order rescue strategy? Essentially, They need to make, like, the charade will be that Yuuya will fight to the end. Hopefully not die. Yuuya will escape. And then they'll be spirited away. And they will leave. Maybe they might even, after they, like, recover, like, they might recover the most critical components of the TSF and leave the rest and destroy it to make it look like it got, like, blasted by a laser or something. Interesting.
そうしてくれると助かる。それじゃ、疲れたので切らせてもらうよ。また何かあれば声をかけてください。
I don't know if Heinemann's an evil genius, a genius, or just evil. I can't fathom. He's got to be one of them.
言いたいやつには好きに言わせればいい。私のしたことは私だけが知っていればいい。確か、そう言っていたね、君は。
Oh, Mira, that was Yuya's mom, right? Oh, there they are. Okay. Is that Yuya's dad? Yeah, that must be, because the colors are for Yui's family. So that must be Yuya's dad. Those colors. I swear I have seen him before. Royal Guard and the white. That's the color that the idiots wear, I believe. So is he related to one of the three idiots, or at least that member of the branch of the family? Oh, wait a minute, no. Okay, what am I talking about? That's not Yuya's dad. I'm so dumb. Gosh darn, this is Yuya's dad on the right, because it's the colors. I don't know what I got really blindsided by the figure on the left with the white suit. I'm trying to remember where I've seen that before. There he is. Heinemann.
年を取るわけだ。
I just heard a noise, but I don't know where it came from. What was that? I don't think it was my phone. That was very weird. I don't like it when I hear noises I don't know where they come from. Yeah.
– よく似てるよ。君たちの子は。二人とも本当に君たちそっくりだ。
Yeah, he really is.
開発に全身全霊を捧げ、どんな難しい局面でも明るさを失わず挑み続ける。頑固で。そしてロマンチストだ。呆れるくらいにね。
Yeah.
仕事にも人生にも情熱が必要。そう言っていたね、君は。正直な話、なんてバカな選択をしたんだ。そう思っていた時もあるさ。
Ooh.
君には才能があった。
Someone of high
僕
caliber.
について
That's high
こられる
praise.
くらいの。
And again, like I said, high caliber. He legitimately is a genius. So like, that's up there.
でも、君の選択を理解できないわけでもないんだ。君は外見や物腰からは想像もつかないほどの情熱家で、そして正忠もまた同じ類の人間だった。でもね、情熱というのなら私だって君たちに負けるつもりはないよ。
Interesting. Now, is it still just exclusively to TSFs, or is there something else he's like meaning there?
君たちの息子によって磨き上げられた私の子
Yeah,
供
the
たち。
TSFs.
あの子たちが歴史に名を残すのは間違いない。
They're his babies.
不当な評価で貶められ、最後には晒し者で終わったあの子とは違う。難癖をつけられ、裏切られた挙句、あんな醜い奴に追い落とされたあの子とも違う。
Oh, interesting. So he designed the Tomcat, but it wasn't, like in this universe, it didn't get picked up. Obviously, the Tomcat fighter jet was, if I remember correctly, was picked up, but I don't think it was ever, like, superseded by the Hornet.
ねえ、ミラ。あの日以来僕たちの子を世界中に行き渡らせるために生きているんだ。
Okay, so he maybe had a parasocial love relationship with Mira. Like, he loved her, but in his eyes, it wasn't as much of the romance. It was the love of, like, their work and their passion together as designing TSFs.
僕らの子。あの子の血統は、今ソビエトで順調に力強く育っているよ。あの子の血も必ず日本に根付き、アジアに広がっていくだろう。そしてあの子はアフリカに、そして世界中に広がっていく。
It's a very sweet moment, but the active Eggly. It's active eagle, but active Eggly sounds hilarious.
素敵だろう。いつかこの世の戦術機をすべて僕たちの子供で埋め尽くしてやるんだ。
It's an interesting way to look at it.
名前を変え、形を変え、装備を変え。それでも僕たちの思いと魂は変わることなく広がっていき、いつの日か二人の子供たちがベータとの戦争にけりをつけるんだ。どうだい？とてもロマンチックだろう。
I can respect that. I really can. I can respect that.
すまないね。君ら二人の子供たちにはいろいろ面倒を負わせてしまった。正忠。君は僕からミラを奪った。
So for him, it was a potential romantic interest of his.
僕はミラに何も伝えられなかった。だから、それは仕方がないと思ってる。でもね、ただの片思いであっても、人生で唯一愛した女性を、君は僕から奪った挙句、幸せにしなかった。
Oh, interesting. Does he hold that as a grudge?
なのに君は、それでも、正忠を思い続けた。だから、これは君たちに対する僕のささやかな復讐でもあるのさ。でも大丈夫。安心していい。僕は君たちの友達じゃないか。ちゃんと手は打ってあるさ。
I'm still trying to figure out, like, is he saying that he's pitted his children against each other out of spite, or is he referring to the pushing of the development of the TSF despite all these hurdles? I don't know. I can never get a good read on Heinemann.
もし、あの世で会えたら、お詫びがてら、二人には一杯おごるよ。ああ、そうか。結局、僕のやってきたことは、君たちの選択と同じなのか。君と正忠の思いは、ユーヤブリッジスと高村結衣に受け継がれ、広がってゆく。
Interesting. Assuming they both get out of this alive, which I hope they do.
かの地でブリッジス少尉は自分に関わった人間のステージを上げようとあがき続けるだろう。それは 僕が戦術機を通してやろうとしていることと同じなんだ。
I see. Okay, so he sees as developing TSFs as almost like pursuing an ideal, very similar to how a lot of people view politics. Like he's like, he doesn't care about the political side of things. He really genuinely feels like his way of enacting true change in the world is by developing TSFs that are mastercrafts.
君たちはこう残すことで希望を紡ぎ、僕は戦術機を開発することで未来を切り開こうとした。不思議だ。君たちと離れてから、まるで違う人生を歩いてきたはずなのに。目指していた場所は同じだったんだね。
Different paths, but the same destination.
注意、遅いですね。連絡取れなくなって。
Are we not seeing their actual fight?
もう2時間は経ちますよ。
We don't. Oh, that'll be mean if we don't see their fight.
大丈夫かな。もう、
気になること言わないでよ。
でもですよ。常に最悪の事態を想定しろって先輩が。
もうニーラムと一緒にドール注意についていけばよかったよ。ホワイトファング1よりコマンドポスト。
Oh, there she is.
こちらホワイトファング1コマンドポスト応答せよ。
先輩、注意からです
She
よ。
looks so shocked. She's like, oh my gosh.
こちらホワイトファング1コマンドポスト応答せよ。こちらコマンドポスト感度良好問題ありません。高村注意ご無事で。
Yeah.
ホワイトファング1よりコマンドポスト状況を報告する。宣告当機は任務対象機と遭遇即時同対象と交戦。
So we missed it.
どうなったんですか。機動格闘戦にて交戦中当機のジャンプユニット指揮が原因不明の停止急増のためのトラブルと推定される。
Is that what he meant? Maybe he purposely, like, maybe set up for her to have an engine failure before she could get hurt.
テロリストに強奪された任務対象機は索敵域外に離脱当機は追跡を断念。これより指揮の再起動を試みる。
Or is this possible deniability still?
了解。状況を国連軍本部に報告します。なお、
Okay.
任務対象機は撹乱軌道を取りながら東へ向かった。おそらくアサバスカの放射能汚染地帯を横断し追跡を振り切る算段のようだ。
Erratic manner.
アサバスカですか。方向真逆じゃないですか。コマンドポスト了解。それも報告しておきます。注意の現座標に回収部隊を向かわせようと思いますが、そうしてもらえると助かる。ところでハイネマンさんはいかがされている。先ほど事情聴取を終えられたようです。実質に戻られました。そうか。以上で報告を終える。
So much subtext I don't know.
とうとう言ってしまったか。
So that's his blade, because she's got both hers on her back.
差し迫る時間の中で極意とまではいかずとも。
Okay. Oh, she's using this as a training exercise.
戦術起動剣術の一端は垣間見えたはずだ。
I do love the idea of giant robots fighting like actual swordsmen. That's kind of fun.
私からの殲滅だ。
Poor Yuuya. She's always the one to make the sacrifice, isn't she? Like I don't even have to play through like the story. Like, I actually watched the beginning of the Total Eclipse anime. I was like, I knew I didn't know I'd be able to play the game, and I never watched the full anime. I was just advised to watch the first 2 episodes with the invasion of the invasion of the capital. And so I saw that much. I'm sure the visual novel version of it is even better, but I do remember watching it because it was recommended after I finished was starting alternative, because it had relevance to just kind of comprehending the scope of things. And that was a while ago. But yeah, like, her story is again and again and again, she's always having to make the tough call, the self-sacrifice, and the really scrappy scraps to try and do what's best, and it never really benefits her. I think she kind of benefits from her things. Like, she works hard, she's got a good place and a role. She gets to help in ways that contribute to like the longevity of the empire and all that good stuff. But I feel like Yuuya always has to be the sacrificial lamb, has to put aside her own interests and her own life to try and guarantee success. Again and again and again and again and again. It's always her that has to be on the altar. Her feelings, her family, all of it. Always her.
あれを
Yeah.
ユウヤ、貴様は父の刀を持って行ってくれたのだな。
Be sad though if he just dies randomly.
図らずとも刀に封印されている近衛の個人識別が、父の識別信号が
Yeah.
私を
I
貴様
knew
の
it!
元に
Oh,
導いてくれたのだ。
that's really cool and really clever. I love it. I'm glad I called it too.
父様、ご覧いただけましたか。これが高村結衣の選択です。
The choice she made. Her choice. Saving the name of love.
この先あなたの進む道には、これまで以上に様々な苦難が待ち受けています。そのような時は、堂々とお行きなさい。高村の誇りを胸に、聖堂を進むのです。
ユウヤ、
Go be free.
何があろうと、どんなことがあろうと、たとえ抗えない大きな力に運命をねじ曲げられたとしても、ご自身に連なる者のため滅私に徹し、高村家の矜持を貫いていらっしゃるのよ。
どうか私たちを
Aww.
許してほしい。
千奈様が高村家にもたらした宝、正忠様がただ一つの拠り所という名を託したゆい、あなたを。
Okay.
父を、私を、どうか
So,
許してほしい。
out of caring for Yuuya, she feels like she sacrificed the legacy of her family. I mean, she let the sword go, but that's always been just a symbol. They could always build a new sword. But for her, it's kind of symbolic also of her choosing to sacrifice the legacy of her family, including the XFJ program and all of it, in order to give Yuuya a chance at a happy future that he's chosen. That's, I think, what's going on here. Aww. Aww.
あまたのしがらみを振り切って高村家の次期当主に据えたこと、それこそが一番大きな答え。
Of course.
あなたと千奈様をお守りになられた証なの。
That also might be part of why she chose to, essentially, in her mind, even though it's not really true, in her mind she's forsaking her family name, is because her father made choices that she found shocking, whether he knew it or not. I think that's the thing that she's not too entirely sure of, is that whether or not he knew that he'd had a son and essentially abandoned him. That he'd have left a woman who loved him and never contacted her again. That's the part that's really hard, even for me, to justify, is because even if he didn't realize that she'd been pregnant, like, they'd had a relationship. And for whatever reason, I'm guessing political, she talked about here, like right here, Kyoko's saying, like, he walked a long and arduous road. Part of it was rejecting the love he had for Mira, in order to make sure to maintain a spot of authority and be able to become secure as the head of the House Takamura. So he essentially chose tradition over love. And I think that he genuinely loved her mom, but she's going to be questioning all of that now, because he was always this stalwart example that she used and idolized in her own mind as her example, like the one that she wanted to follow in the footsteps of. And to find out that your idol was human and made human, careless decisions that were flawed, selfish, and secret. That'd be rough. That'd be rough, especially for an idealist and such a stalwart character. Like, Yuuya has such integrity, genuine integrity. Not just integrity to like, oh, I follow the rules. It's like, she's like, no, I agree to rules and I follow them to the letter. I make promises, I keep those promises to the death. And so for her, a love is like a promise, and to see him shatter it so like he did, it shatters everything that she thought she understood and respected about him. Even though, in every other way, I'm sure he was a very honorable person. But that was a pretty big thing to hide.
家と家名を守り、家臣たちを守り、当主の責務に背を向けられなかった父を。
Yeah, but that meant he had to abandon something pretty important.
世間が向けるさもしい憐憫や同情を一顧だにせず、ただひたすら高村家のために生きておいでなの。そして正忠様は千奈様の思いに全身全霊を捧げてお答えになられたの。
See, that's the thing that's tricky, though. I don't know if they were married when he was in America. They might have been. So did he have an affair? And even if they weren't married, had they been, like, kind of promised to each other? Were they essentially engaged? You know, traditions are hard to navigate in this world. I don't know how traditional they got. But if that's the case, was it essentially an extramarital relation? Because that makes it even worse.
母と一人娘の私を守るため、父が選んだ道を。
養子を取るつもりなど毛頭ありません。高村の世継ぎは結衣です。
貴様とその母上を切り捨てることでしか、それを成し得なかった。
Right. If he acknowledged Yuuya, if he acknowledges Yuuya and brings him in, he would essentially become the head of the house. But his wife would no longer be like the one who gave birth to the heir of the house. It would just make things really complicated, especially if there's a lot of family politicking that happened between. Oh gosh, I see why it was a mess and why he might have made those choices if he knew Yuuya existed. Guess part of me wants to believe he didn't know, and that made the choice really easy, but still, it's rough. We need to pick our battles or we won't be able to save anyone. Compromise is inevitable.
そうだ。そうだった。
Compromise is inevitable.
私自身が、父の選択の結果、そのものなのだな。そしてこれが、優也の選択。愛する人を選び、すべてを捨てた。いや、捨てたのではない。今、ビャーチェのは勝利を選んだだけなのだ。かつて父が、そうしたよ。
God. They did a good job of making the resemblance
高村の
work.
男どもと来たら、
Yeah, I get that. I get that sense. The men of Takamura are pretty ridiculous, but they're also so human. They're just human. It wouldn't have worked, Yuuya. You know that.
ビャーチェのは勝利。どうか、幸せにな。
That's the really sad thing is she has no idea that, like, she literally is on a clock. Unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
ユイ、あなたがもっと大きくなった時、あなたが立つ位置が新たな視界を与え、違った世界を見せてくれるはずよ。
I like Kyoko. Kyoko's good. She's good people.
嬉しいこと、楽しいこと、悲しいこと、辛いこと、すべて見せてくれる。でもそれはとても素晴らしいことなの。
さようなら、兄様。
Oh man. I hate that she didn't get to even like explore that relationship with him, you know? Like, I know it really was complicated with the romantic feelings that were tied up in all of it, but like really, truly, she's kind of all alone. It would have been nice to have a familiar support.
その結果、ブリッジスは撹乱軌道を取りながら東へ向かったとのことです。
Eastward. Eastward. Yeah, because that would be back towards Canada.
加えて、アサバスカの放射能汚染地帯を横断し、追跡を振り切る算段のようだ。とも。
なるほど。アサバスカか。
Because I don't think that's the way he went. I think Yuuya essentially threw a false flag for him.
高村中尉から提出されたミッションレコーダーの記録は、この証言を裏付けています。ですが、相手は次世代アクティブステルス搭載機。高村中尉の報告は、上書きされたデータをただ読み上げたものでしょう。
だろうな。
いかがしますか、部長。こうなった以上、高村中尉の2番機を抑えますか。
無駄だ。やめておけ。ハイネマンがそのような証拠を残すとでも。
Especially after this.
では、やはり2番機は
2番機が予備部品から新規に組み上げられている意味が君にはわからんのか。欧州などちらつかせれば、むしろ喜んで差し出すだろ
う。You know, I could see that. Because if the one is gone, the only basis for their actual, like, evidence collection would be 2. And it's like, oh, look, it has some of the enhancements, but none of the stuff that's proprietary. Your case is done.
そして我々は、ジャルスもアクティブステルスも搭載されていないハズレをつかまされ、わざわざ疑惑を晴らしてやることになるわけだ。
That's a neat little bow.
そして、そのリアクションとして、ソ連と日本帝国からは、米軍籍の英士による資産の強奪と破壊の責任を問われる。ブリッジス少尉は実にうまくやった。誰もが下手に動けない状況を見事に作っていってくれたよ。
He really didn't mean to. I mean, he was trying to be intelligent, and I do think he worked hard to work the situation out, but I think that everyone else kind of set themselves up in a situation where we're all dancing on eggshells. He just kind of played the game really well, but the game was set up for him.
アメリカ、ソ連、日本、国連、そしてハイネマン。すべてが関与し、 すべてが口をつぐまざるを得ない状況を。
では結局、ブリッジスはどこに操られていたのでしょう。欧州連合情報軍、帝国情報省、あるいは第四計画でしょうか。
Yeah, it's not, but I love that she's like, they can't talk about like grand conspiracies and masterful political moves without bringing Yuko Sensei up. They're like, could it have been her?
さあな。
部長。
だが、強いて言うなら、彼を操っていたのは、彼自身
Yep.
ではないか。
He's just following his heart. That's all you gotta do.
なるほど。時勢を変えた一個人の衝動的な行動というわけですか。
No. What we saw was the calculated efforts of a man who's determined to do what he decides and not be pushed and prodded into different directions by other factors and parties. Even though he technically started dancing on the end of following the carrot on the string that Weller set up for him, he kind of knew he was doing the carrot string impersonation and was willing to deviate the instant he found something more compelling. I think he genuinely thought he was going to take up Weller on the ability to try and protect Cryska, but once he learned that that wasn't going to be possible, that Enya was not recovered yet, he made the changes necessary to try and get things back into like the direction that he felt mattered most, since he was already essentially gone rogue.
君は私の話を何も聞いていなかったようだね。
は、何でしょうか。申し訳ありません。もう一度お願いします。
Yeah, it's pretty much just, yeah, he like don't underestimate him.
いや、こちらの話だ。気にしなくていい。
個人であろうが誰と結託していようが、アラスカ北部はソ連軍、そして南部はアメリカ軍が包囲しています。そうそう逃げ切れるものではありません。
Oh yeah, sure, because there's no possible way a stealth TSF could do anything that could possibly circumvent what seems like a gridlock.
ああ。今となっては無粋だがね。全軍に逃走機の撃墜許可を出しておいてくれ。
はっ。かしこまりました。他国に渡すわけには参りません。
うん。そうか。君の母親と同じ道を行くか。
Bury your head, pretend that like none of it happened.
人は往々にして視野にあるもののみで判断し、言葉を紡ぐ。つまるところ、その視野こそがその人間の器であり、核か。
Interesting.
なるほど。私もその程度だったか。それにしても、サンダークにしろ、ハイネマンにしろ、ここまで読んでいたというのか。
静かだね。
It's not the cabin, huh?
そうだね。
Oh, maybe because he left them here, so they're just waiting for him to come back. Seems the wind's calming down. Should we get out once it settles down a little bit more?
そうだな。あといくつか。
Okay.
島を渡れば。
So they're on their way. They just happen to
ロ
find
シア
another
に
shack.
着くんだな。
Nice and handy that there's a lot of shacks around here, huh?
また、
Aww.
ふるさとの景色を見ることができる。
She's really not doing good.
よかったね、クリスカ。いいにや。
Aww.
もっとよく顔を見せて。いいにや。なに？クリスカ。 これからはゆうやと一緒に
Oh my gosh, no!
人参食べなきゃダメよ。
Is that just a thing? Are all of them not fans of carrots? That's hilarious.
お薬もね。私ね、いい子になるの。お姉さんになるの。そう。だから大丈夫だよ。偉いね、いいにゃは。ゆうや。
What are you even supposed to do? Yes.
そろそろ。
Yeah, it's time. Aww. Yuuya.
私笑ってるよ。
You just keep lying, girl. You keep lying.
本当だよ。本当に本当だよ。ね、ゆうや。
She can't. Even if I can no longer share their thoughts directly. Yeah, she's laughing, really. We still understand each other better than anyone else.
ゆうやもね。
Okay. It's time to go.
私は幸せ。
Music is really good.
ゆうや。二人が。
Don't get ahead of yourself. We still got a ways to go before we arrive in Russia.
何の不安もない。
Stop that. Come on.
少し
Fetch
眠
me.
くなってきた。
We gotta hurry. Oh. Alright. Sweet dreams. ゆうや。 What?
ありがとう。
Come on. I haven't done anything. What?
目が覚めたら私が街を案内して。クリスカ、大丈夫。訓練で歩いたことがあるから。
Looking forward to it. We'll have the time of our lives.
リルホートの時みたいに。
Yeah.
三人で楽しく。
Yeah. Didn't make it to Russia. This sucks. Gosh darn it. They were so close. Fetch me! You can't just do that! Hey, Cryska. I can't believe you're gone. I couldn't imagine a world without you, but here we are. Hey, Cryska. It's only been a few days since our last night together, but it feels like months have passed. Strange, isn't it? I'm not being fair. I know it wasn't weird for us to go for a couple days without seeing each other back in Yukon. Well, can't help it. You made quite an impression on me since the very first day we met. You remember? You pointed a gun at my head, threatened to shoot me dead. As far as our first encounters go, could have got a little better. Thought that you didn't quite count as one of our first time. When I arrived in Yukon, you and Tiny gave me quite the deathly reception. To be fair, you didn't even know I was inside that plane. It was a one-sided affair, but that's when I started to think maybe being stuck in a UN base in the middle of fetching nowhere wouldn't be so bad. At that point, pent-up frustration, bitterness festering inside me disappeared in the blink of an eye when I saw you execute the fly pass. It must have been fate. Until that day, I'd thought about fate as something I should fight against. Sisyphus pushing the stone. Sisyphus, I guess. Is that the word where sissy comes from? Sisyphus? Yeah. You and I, we were born in different countries at different times, but for some reason, the stars aligned and we met in Alaska. I feel like that's how I've made friends every time. It's just like, I just kind of turn around, they're there, and we're friends. I can never figure out how it happens. God works in mysterious ways. Imagine going back 6 months in time, telling myself I'll elope with one of the freaking Scarlet Twins. The look on my face would be the entire thing worth it. Not like the old me would buy that story, though. I'm still having a hard time believing this is real. Though only a few days ago, when I came to a crossroads, I chose you. I like that. It's fun kind of playing a visual novel. Then normally the traditional structure is you get to the crossroads and the player gets to choose which path you go down. But because this is alternative, it's a set timeline. And so the set canon timeline is that when the crossroads came, he chose Cryska. Even if I could have seen the future, I would have chosen to get you again without a second thought. I would never want you to endure the sadness alone. You mean the world to me. I could never bear the thought of you suffering in solitude. Yeah, I had to turn my back on almost everything that made me who I am, but I don't regret a thing. Because it was you who gave me the strength to take a leap in the dark. I'm sorry, Cryska. Here I am, just talking about myself nonstop. You deserve better. You really were an amazing woman. Now that I think about it, you could see everything that I went through my head, and you still chose me. You could see everything. You could see I was a selfish bee stuck in the past. So you must have known the reason why I started worrying about you all along. At first, I couldn't leave you alone because you were so much like the old me during my time in the US Army. Thanks to many different people I encountered in Yukon, I could finally start living my own life. People who saw the good and the bad accepted me for who I am. I finally found a place where I could belong. A place where, after all these years, I could finally lower my guard. In a sense, I was only following in their footsteps. I owed them the world, and I was desperate to pay this debt forward. To anybody. With that thought spurring me on, I began to worry about you and Inya. At least, that's the reason I came up with at the time. My real reason wasn't anything noble like that. I didn't do it for you, I did it for myself. Thinking about it, I must have seen the ghost of my past self in you and Inya, how the whole life revolved around nothing but the military and the party. So by looking after you, I wanted to confirm I had grown as a person, all for the sake of my own peace of mind. On some level, I must have realized as much, but I didn't have the presence of mind to come face to face with the truth, so I danced around the facts. No, I simply lacked the courage to come face to face with the truth. What can I say? I was scared. Scared of facing myself and then realizing I was still the same man. God, this is so stupid. And I know it sounds like I'm crazy or something, but I was afraid I'd stopped moving forward. But you didn't care about any of that. No matter how pretentious I acted or how I behaved around you, you always came to me straight, free of pretext. You could see a flicker inside my heart I didn't even know was there.
だからお前のことを思う。この気持ちが、これが本当の私の気持ちなのかどうかもわからない。わからないんだ。
I'm sorry, Cryska. Please forgive me. You laid bare your soul to me, shared your deepest fears and insecurities, and I couldn't respond in kind. Your powers were gone, so I took advantage of your weakness. Couldn't bring myself to tell you the truth in my own words. I deceived you. I lied so you could pass away in peace. Because I love you. That's why I pretended to be strong. I wanted to set your mind at ease, even if only a little. Sympathy, self-satisfaction, or even simple transcription of memories. I don't care what started it all. Cryska, I love you. I always love you. Wish I could have told you this before the end. But if there's one thing you can count on, it's that I'll keep my promise. Until Inya finds her path in life, I'll stand by her side and watch over her. It's my turn to step up to the plate, now that you're gone. I need some time to mourn, but I'll get back on my feet before you know it. Please believe in me. I'll definitely come back for you, to lay you down to rest in your hometown where you long to return. Once your Asia's back in human hands, I swear I'll take you there. Until that day comes, sleep well. Thank you for everything, Cryska. I love you, now and forever. Yeah. What the fetch? I thought you died! What the? What? What? Wait, what? Please. Is this a hallucination? Because how is she alive? Never expected to see you, of all people, again. I was sure you were dead. No, far from it. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard that voice cutting my comms in the encrypted line as I was breaking into Kamchutka's air defense identification zone.
Fair.
You know, at this point, if she just randomly revealed that she's all like Sendak's sister, I would not even be surprised at this point. It'd just be ridiculous. The official story said you were KIA after successfully running a laser jihad.
確かに成功はさせたさ。ただ、その前に一悶着あってな。貴様を離脱させたあの後。
Oh, right, because they were hunted by the Scarlet Twins.
何の偶然か、私たちの口封じに来た機体がベータどもに懐かれてな。命からがら逃げ出して、先行するレーザーヤークトに合流したというわけだ。
Okay. So the Scarlet Twins were sent, but because they're part of Alternative 3, they draw beta attention like flies to honey. That's okay, yeah. And they might have even had like the beginnings of the cocoon inside the TSF, which again would be based on beta technology because it's mimicking the brain tube. So again, might have had a little bit of element G in there, which would have drawn the attention of the beta, gave them a window.
その後は補給基地のバラキン司令に保護され、地下に潜伏。
Okay.
彼の私兵としてかくまわれていた。聖04基地壊滅の濡れ衣を着せられた際に、司令の潔白と中央戦略開発軍団の謀略を証明する証人としてな。
Okay, so he anticipated a political maneuver against him and utilized them to be like secret witnesses. Fascinating.
笑ってくれて構わんよ。
Yeah.
貴様に遠ざけろと釘を刺しておきながら、その政治に生かされている身だ。
Central Strategic Development Corps. Doesn't that mean Cryska and Inya were part of the conspiracy?
口封じに来たのは紫のチェルミナートル。 私もビアチヌは少尉たちだとばかり思っていたのだが。
I mean, it was, wasn't it? What?
指令の証拠固めで分かったことだが、彼女たちはその時刻、カムチャツキー基地に向け交代中だったそうだ。
Does that mean there's another Scarlet Twin unit? Oh. That only leaves Martika. No surprise she was already being tested in actual combat months ago.
だが、私の生存秘話など、貴様たちのしでかしたことに比べれば取るに足らんよ。
That's fair. That's fair. Well, what can I say? Things happened.
バラキン司令から貴様を迎えに行けと言われたときは、心底驚いたぞ。
Oh. Commander Balakin must be the one that Heinemann has the connection to. And where the hell did this Commander Balkan guy get his information from? Radar and the other electronic devices couldn't have detected the incoming Phase 3 or even identified it as a TSF. As if it wasn't curious enough, an ampulle to prevent India's collapse had already been arranged for. Wait. This must be Yuko. She's the only one who I think would be able to orchestrate the ampulle, the drugs that she needs. And I'm guessing it's going to be Yuko via like Iwai. Isn't that like Makoto's dad? He's awfully well prepared. It's not impossible for the commander of a frontline base to be in the know about confidential information, but for him to also be ready to receive an unidentified stealth TSF and the product of a top secret experiment is just a bridge too far. So there's only one possible explanation. Someone's pulling my strings.
さあな。あの機体と貴様たちを欲している何者かがいる。それだけは確かだ。
Yeah, apparently someone with a lot of pull.
だが、現場にあるものは常に見知らぬ手のひらの上で踊るのが作法だ。それが誰のものかを詮索すれば、痛い目に遭うぞ。
Fair. But also being blindly following orders doesn't tend to get you anywhere fun either. Believe me, I've learned the lesson. In the days after Kamchatka, I've come to realize just how right you are.
ほう。
But that doesn't mean I'm gonna let some wannabe puppet master do whatever the hell they want. No matter who's pulling the strings, I'm not dancing for free. I'll twist that arm, make the bees put on a show for me.
私が見込んだ通り。度胸も思い切りもいいな。
Yeah. Ease up on the compliments. You're making me sound like I'm a big deal.
ではなんだ？惚れた女のためか？
Yeah, I did it for her. Hey. Oh yeah, heard Cryska humming it tune a couple times too. You familiar with it, Lieutenant Colonel?
漆黒と光芒が天空に溶け合い、兆しの導き手がついに姿を現す。
The Eclipse.
そのものは絶望の果てに望まれ、人の思いによって使わされたのだ。
He's like, what?
白き結晶よりいずる命を、そは何者によって生まれ、何者によって行くのか。
Wait. Life born of white crystal, would you live alone and free?
赤き炎に消える命を、そは何者によってついえ、何者によって行くのか。
What is happening? Lieutenant Colonel? What's that?
戯曲の一節だ。
Oh. A play?
スニグラチカ。
I have no idea what that is. Huh?
そうだな。確かに。ビアチェノワ少尉は、スニグラチカそのものだ。
I need to look that up. What? Yeah, thank you, Yuuya.
雪娘の伝説だ。ロシアではごく一般的な、そうだな。雪の生徒でも言ったものか。
Oh, okay. The Snow Maiden. How does she resemble Cryska?
いや、その宿命というべきか。存在そのものがあまりにもな。
Yeah, that's fair. They even referred to where the embryos came from as a chrysalis or a crystal. Please tell me more.
聞きたいのか？
Yeah. Please, Lieutenant Colonel, let me hear it.
簡易な言葉に置き換えて言えば、そうだな。
Playing the music.
北の国の聖なる森。その奥の村に貧しくとも善良な老夫婦が暮らしていた。ある冬の日、老夫婦は雪人形を作り、授かることのなかった我が子を思い、服を着せ、帽子をかぶせ、大層可愛がった。
The song is so pretty.
その翌日、空で太陽と月が重なった日の晩、
Whoa.
雪人形があった場所に
Oh,
赤子が捨てられていた。
a baby born from an eclipse. That's cool.
その翌日、空で太陽と月が重なった日の晩、雪人形があったところに、赤ちゃんが捨てられていました。おじいさんとおばあさんは喜び、赤ちゃんに雪娘、スニグラチカと名前をつけて、大切に育てました。
Kind of reminds me of the Hercules mortal origin.
その年、どうしたことか冬が明けず、北の国は雪と氷に閉ざされてしまいます。
I really just need to like understand this play fully. Like I really just Google is gonna be my friend later.
それ以来、北の国の人たちは皆、生きていくことだけで精一杯になり、いつしか笑顔も消えてしまいました。それから何年か経って、スニグラチカは素直で美しい娘に育ち、おじいさんとおばあさんを助け、よく働きました。スニグラチカの美しさは、たちまち評判になり、国中からたくさんの人が結婚を申し込みに村を訪れました。恋という気持ちがわからないスニグラチカは、結婚の申し込みを断り続けます。
Maybe this was the Cryska. Holy cow.
スニグラチカは村に住む幼馴染、森の狩人が歌うお日様を称える歌が大好きでした。いつまでもずっとその歌を聴いていたいスニグラチカは、お家を離れたくありません。毎日のように訪れる人たち。その思いが怖くて、ある日の晩、スニグラチカは聖なる森の奥へと逃げ込んでしまいます。
Dang. Could you imagine that being like the worst, like you being essentially harassed so badly for like to get married that you literally run away into the woods because that sounds like more fun.
森の奥にある月の祠に迷い込んだスニグラチカは、そこで森の精に出会い、凍りついたラマーシカの花冠を渡されます。森の精は言いました。その花冠をかぶれば、すべてを知ることができる。その代わり、それを手にすることはできなくなる。
Oof.
よく考えて決めなさい。
What a crappy choice to give to somebody. It's like, if you want answers to all your questions, here, take this, but it'll destroy everything you love. It's like, well, fetch me.
スニグラチカは迷わず凍りついた花冠をかぶります。そして森の狩人への気持ちこそが恋であることを知りました。でもスニグラチカが知ったのはそれだけではありませんでした。村に戻ったスニグラチカは森の狩人を訪ね、自分の気持ちを正直に伝えました。
I'm guessing she learned that she's the reason why the winter's so long and why everyone's miserable.
すると、北の国を厚く覆っていた雲が晴れ、夜明けの太陽が昇り始めました。それを追いかけるように月も昇っていきます。
何年も見なかった太陽の光に驚いた村人たちが集まってきます。空では月が太陽に重なりました。
Another eclipse.
その時、
Sorry.
お日様の光を浴びたスニグラチカは、突然赤い炎に包まれると、数えきれないくらいの雪の結晶になって、光の中に消えてしまいました。
She was still the snowman.
それは、スニグラチカにかけられた呪いでした。スニグラチカは、太陽の娘である春の星と、月の息子である氷の星が結ばれて生まれた鬼子だったのです。
Interesting. It's very, like they use the word fairy, but like it really feels very Celtic, this story.
娘の裏切りと恋心に怒った太陽は、春の星とスニグラチカを塔に閉じ込めました。
Oh.
そして、恋を知ったスニグラチカがお日様の光を浴びると、自分の恋心に焼かれて消えてしまうという呪いをかけていたのです。
Dang. That sucks. What a crappy thing to do.
それを知らなかった春の星は、すべての力を使って、スニグラチカを人の世界に逃がして生き絶え、ラマーシカの花になりました。
Right.
それを知った氷の星は、スニグラチカの恋心をラマーシカの花冠に封じると、娘を守りたい一心から、人の世界を厚い雲で覆い、氷の柱となって生き絶えたのです。
So, out of jealousy, like one fairy cursed her to die in sunlight. Her parents gave everything they had to try and give her freedom and to give her a life and protect her from the sun. But because she would learn what love was, it would undo her protection.
おじいさんとおばあさん、そして森の狩人は、スニグラチカが消えてしまったことを悲しみ、泣き叫び、でもその声は誰にも届きません。夜明けとともに訪れた春を喜ぶ村の人たちの歓声はいつまでも続いていました。
森の狩人は空を見上げると、その光を遮ろうとするかのように、月が太陽に重なっていた。
Oh, because the moon was one of her parents. So it was trying to save her.
森の狩人にはその光景が、重なり合う太陽と月が、互いの過ちとその痛みを慰め合っているように見えてならなかった。話は、これでおしまいだ。
What a sad story.
古くから伝わる民話が、帝政時代に戯曲化されたものらしい。時代や地方によって内容にはかなり違いがあるそうだ。私が話したものは、戯曲好きだった母に語り聞かされたものだ。だから、彼女なりのアレンジが入っているかもしれん。
That's a good base covering. Be like, hey, this isn't what you remember. It's probably changed. Don't get mad. Oh, Inya.
そうか。中佐のおふくろさんが。あの歌は、そういう筋だったのか。
わからない。管理官のおばさんが、私たちにいつも歌ってくれていたから。
管理官？
シェスチナ少尉たちを生み出し、訓練した機密施設の管理官。いわば、養母のようなものか。
Makes sense.
お前たちが、それであの歌を。
管理官のおばさん大好き。と
Aww.
ても優しいから。
そうか。
厳格な管理体制の中にあっては、メロディーのみが精一杯だったに違いない。
How depressing is that? Affection? Character flaw. How dare you? Have emotions. Ugh.
おそらく人工発現体の命運を知るその女性がせめて人らしい思い出を授けたいと願い歌を聴かせたのだろう。
In a way, she was like the spring fairy that tried to protect a child. She essentially gave a little gift trying to help them have humanity. Gave it to Cryska and Yuuya. And Cryska, through that song and other factors, discovered her humanity.
その命がいつの日か人類の夜明けを呼び、決して途上に帰すのではないということを。
Dang.
せめて伝えずにはいられなかったのだろう。私にはその管理官の思いが痛いほどわかる。
Huh?
ソ連の新生児はすべて生後間もなく軍の英士養成施設に収容され、親を知らぬまま前線に出る。
That's so crazy. They literally just factory print pilots. Like, no attachments, no family. That's an interesting one because, like, there's a lot of argument to be said that, like, that can make perfect soldiers. But then there's also the counter argument that, like, at that point, aren't your soldiers simply fighting for survival and for each other? There's no foundation for, like, a greater cause, or like, they're not fighting, like, they're fighting for a nebulous, like, oh, that's where all the normal people are, but wouldn't they just be jealous? Wouldn't they just get frustrated that they're constantly facing death to help people they've never met? I feel like there's a lot more strength. Sadness, a lot more sadness, a lot more pain, but a lot more strength coming from knowing your background and knowing people whom you are fighting on behalf of. Yeah, imagine that. Dang, so that's their story. Painfully obvious what this means. The lieutenant colonel's child suffered just the same.
だが、親は違う。たとえ顔を知らずとも、
Oh my
我が
gosh.
子への思いを消すことなどできない。
Good grief, that's ridiculous.
だからこそその女性は、兵器として育成されている彼女ら幼子に、スニグラチカの歌を授けたに違いない。いずこの何者かが、我が子を同様に慈しむことを願ってな。
I hope so.
我が子がいずこにあろうとも、親とは、そういうものだ。
憎もうが軽蔑しようが、親がいるというだけで幸せなことだと思う。
Oh my gosh, that's... Every time we get more context, it's like, good grief. Yeah, you're right, Cryska. Maybe once upon a time, Mom and my father found themselves in a position similar to ours. That's why she loved him until the day she died. Thank you, Cryska. It's thanks to you I finally understand what gave Mom the strength to go on. I carried around this emotional baggage all my life, and today, it's time to let go. Thank you so much.
男の顔になったな、ブリッジス。自分自身の戦いをしたんだな。
There you go.
中佐。
とうとう、貴様もわきまえたようだな。
It's true. He used to fight really hard to try and establish himself, but that was a fight he felt was imposed upon him, a fight he had to do to prove people wrong. It wasn't a fight because it was something he was actually fighting for.
己の部というものを。
My place. That's right, I...
自ら選び、貫いた道だ。そのすべてを背負い、行くがいい。
中佐。
ビアチェノは少尉の思いとともに、前だけを見据えてな。
Yeah. Painful memories of the ones that we love can either be a pit of darkness and a chain around our feet, or they can be the lantern that gives us the light to move forward.
はい。よくやったな。
Aww.
ユウヤ。
Thanks, Mom.
はい。
Aww. See ya, Cryska. So now what? December 31st, 2001. Oh, yeah, that's a significant date. Gulf of Gulf, Sea of Oshka, USSR.
親愛なる同志諸君。私は今次作戦の総司令官、ブラート・リトビネンコ中将である。
I was thinking this might be a good place to stop, but I don't know if we can. This is just going to be a super long episode. Or maybe we do stop, actually, because I might be jumping into something serious here. Operation Flagship, USSRS, Admiral Chabaneko. Oh my gosh, it's happening! Holy crap! Oh my gosh. You know what? Okay, we are gonna stop here. Maybe there's like, I could be like 5 slides away from the end. I could be watching an entire actual post, like, Operation, like the actual Operation Cherry Blossom simultaneous attack that's occurring. If that actually is what's happening, I've got to save this. Holy crap. That was because there's just too much. Too much just happened. I don't want to do this right now, but like, holy crap, it's actually Cherry Blossom. Oh. Oh my gosh, we haven't been back here for... I don't think we've ever been back to this point. Has there been any other stage in the game, in any of the games, even the side stories that even came close to Cherry Blossom? Like, the closest I think would be Chicken Divers, but that wasn't Operation Cherry Blossom, that was Operation 21st, which was, you know, the attack on the island, whatever, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, like, this is Operation Cherry Blossom. So, at this time, is like Takaru and the others are up in orbit and getting ready to drop over Hive 001. And simultaneously, UN forces around the entire globe are going to all begin to assault every hive they can, attempting to take as many of them as possible, with the hope that the disruption of the core hive and the core intelligence that that Yuuya was fairly confident was there might give us an edge to make some serious ground and prove that Alternative 4 is the right path. So this looks like it's going to happen. And again, it could be this, I might be just postponing. It might literally be like we see like 5 lines delivered and then it just says like, we go, and then it cuts off like right there. But let's wait, because I imagine they're going to go over an actual battle plan. So I think I'm going to take that risk. And if next week's episode's really short, that's just fine. We'll just deal with it. Yeah. This is an interesting episode. Fetch me. It was really sad. Like, I knew Cryska was on the way out, but I honestly felt like she'd have more time. I thought that we'd at least get her to Russian territory. But, yeah. We'll just have to see. I'm really excited to see Operation Cherry Blossom again, from another perspective. See how it all plays out and see what happens. So yeah, I guess we got a lot to look forward to. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel and for another great episode of Muv-Luv. Hopefully you found it as entertaining as I found making this was, and that there's a lot more of exciting stories to come in the near future. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's more I want to say, but really all I can say is thank you. Thank you to the patrons and members who support the channel directly for your contributions. Like, I owe you everything, and I'm really happy and look forward to, like, your ability to choose what we play next when we end some of the series on the channel. I actually might be posting in the Discord chat with for the patrons and members section, so keep an eye for that. I've got a couple questions I want to kind of pigeonhole your way. But for anyone else who's just watching, it means the world to me that you're here. Thank you so much. I look forward to reading your comments. I'd love to know what your thoughts were about this. If any of you have seen that play, is that something you'd recommend? Is it a play that translates well in your opinion, or is it better for me to just kind of be content with that synopsis? Are there any additions or things that were specifically altered that you find odd or interesting, or maybe something that's supposed to be specifically in universe. I'd love to know your thoughts about that. And then ultimately, just thank you for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day, a good start to your week, and until next video, watch me. If you see me next, I'll see you there.